just loved being out there coaching and being involved and behind the desk in Milebush Park, planning the next fixture, getting the bus organised, the players and so on and so forth. He loved to be right in the heart of it. But I remember him best perhaps for his humour and his wit. He always had that glint in the eye, and you'd really enjoy when you went for a pint. Well, he drank Jack Daniel's whiskey, that was his drink, and you'd sit down with him and talk about football non-stop. But I think that Jeremy really came into his own when he got involved in women's and ladies football. And the impact he had in the development of women and girls soccer at Celtic Park over a short period of time was absolutely incredible.
Everybody in Irish football was deeply saddened when we heard that Jeremy passed away tragically. And today we're in South Dublin. The Republic of Ireland under-16 team play Estonia, and the Irish team will be wearing black armbands in recognition of Jeremy's passing and his contribution to the game. My own memories of Jeremy was he always had this beautiful smile, absolutely beautiful smile. Every time I met him, impeccably dressed, a gentleman, somebody who would just be a huge loss to the women's game, not only in the west of Ireland, but nationally. I want to take this opportunity to pass on my condolences to his family and all the people who he was involved in football, his friends in the west of Ireland. He was a top man, and he'll never be forgotten.
He was involved in the Mayo Junior League. He was on the committee. He managed the Oscar Taylor team and the under-21 team. He moved into women Mayo Schoolboys and Youth, where he was chairman of that organisation for a number of years, and he then moved on to the Mayo Women's League. He was fixture secretary of that organisation. He was also on the Connacht Women's Committee, and he was the Connacht representative on the WFAI. He was the current manager of the Castlebar Celtic ladies team. Another aspect of his involvement in soccer in the county was that he was the soccer editor on Midwest Radio, and he reported on games every weekend. So it's tragic to his loss to the game in general is absolutely huge, and he was a real football man and an absolutely tremendous volunteer.
In paying tribute to Jeremy, one thing I just have to say, when I see the pictures in the paper of him in the coaching gear, I think, you know, he's first and foremost a coach, but Jeremy was always impeccably dressed when he came to our executive meetings or at any administration kind of events or presentation events. And, you know, he was always, everything was perfect. So I just think it's just, you know, that was just Jeremy. So really, on behalf of the WFAI, I just want to pass on our condolences to his family, to his friends in football in Connacht, and in particular the Castlebar team, because I've no doubt the reason why Castlebar are in the Women's National League is because of Jeremy Dee and the tireless work he has put in over the past year and a half with that team, and as he has done over the previous years with all the Castlebar teams.
It's true to say that he did work that we never knew he did. And you could say to Jeremy today, can we do this? Or he may come up with some idea himself that could have been maybe a little bit expensive, and you'd have to say, Jeremy, we need to think on that. And he'd throw a smile at you and you'd just have to nearly change your mind. I don't think in all the years I can genuinely say that I ever had an argument. I tend to have arguments with a lot of people, but never with Jeremy. And the one thing that I could never figure out is he could remember all the girls' names. He could remember the positions they played in, or even the clubs if they changed around clubs a little bit. But I think his one major plus was that he talked to the parents as well of the girls and said, you know, Angela's coming on well, or Mary's coming on well, keep her at it. And we might get her a trial for the international team. And my God, he got trials for an awful lot of the girls.
Everybody knew that what that man done in ladies and girls football is second to none really in this county, and the way he brings up a team from scratch and brings them up to an international level and players, it's just he's he's a very big loss. Sometimes I'd be up there doing the PA up at my bush here, and Jeremy would be reporting for Midwest, and not being smart now, but the game mightn't be going great. It was like a drab game, but by God, when you were sitting beside him and he was reporting to Midwest, you think it was a blinder. He's not replaceable, really.
And let's go from there to Ballyglass. The Women's FAI Junior Cup final should be well into the second half. Jeremy Dee is back on the line. Jeremy, how's it going?
It's 1-1, Angelina. I almost had very good news for you. 8 minutes were gone in the second half when Stacey Frayne was fouled 25 yards out. She picked herself up and she drove the free kick into the top corner. A wonderful strike. The goal did seem to galvanise Manola, but just one moment of madness, about 10 minutes later, Danielle Scales was fouled by Tracy Hall in the penalty box, and Catherine Meany stepped up and tucked away the penalty for the equaliser. Tracy picked up a yellow card for a foul. It was the first yellow card of the afternoon, actually, which gives you an indication of the spirit that the game is being played in. Steve Barrett has just got a great save from Sarah Kercher in the St. Joseph's goal, with a wonderful shot that was turned out for a corner, but they weren't able to capitalise on that corner. It's 1-1, Angelina. I wouldn't put bets on anyone at the moment because it could go either way. There isn't very much between the teams at all. Mulla did have their noses in front, but now it's equaliser again.
It's a poignant moment as we prepare for our annual dinner. Jeremy was involved for many years in helping to organise it. In fact, the last bit of administrative work he did was to post out the tickets to our clubs, all our clubs. They went in the post last Friday, so our club secretaries were open on Monday and Tuesday, and we know what happened in between. If I could finish by just saying, one of the last jobs that we did together was 2 weeks ago when we had the Tony McHugh Memorial Cup, and Jeremy came on board to help Tommy Rumley, the Mayo Masters manager, look after the kit. So we opened up the kit down in McHale Park, I might add, for a soccer team against a Gaelic team. There was a few bits and pieces missing, and Jeremy made the joke that, you know, when he looked after kits, he was known as Jigsaw because there was always a piece missing. But if I could just say that as we look forward to the dinner, it's a bit like a jigsaw. There's going to be a piece missing next Friday night, but that piece will never be forgotten.
And she's back.